to Michelle Miller, the Farm Babe.
My name's Michelle, and I'm single. Hi, Michelle. Did you ever notice how when people go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, the first thing they do is introduce themselves? Like, hi, welcome to our group full of anonymous people. What's your name? And everybody instantly knows each other's names. I guess, whatever works, I don't judge. Hey, it is a support group, and at the end of the day, we all need support groups in all different parts of our lives. Especially in dating, okay? Y'all, it is rough out there, especially in agriculture. You think a unicorn is rare? Try being single in the farming community. I know. You guys are looking at me going, you're what? Single. What's that? That's a thing? Y'all are looking at me like a cow's looking at a new gate. But people always ask, Michelle, how are you single? You're beautiful and funny and smart and go on. But the reality is that there's just not really a lot to choose from anymore nowadays. And to prove my point, I'd like to try a little experiment this evening, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to find me a nice South Dakota boy this evening. An audience husband, if you will. But I need everybody's help. So I'd like y'all to please stand up. Everybody, please stand up. Yeah, get the food comas moving. All right. Now that I've got you all standing, if you're married, please sit down. And there goes the neighborhood. Okay, now, if you're female, sit down. All right. Now, if you're a man that is in a serious relationship, sit down. All right. We're narrowing it down here. Okay. Now, if you're gay, sit down. If you're gay, sit down. Yeah. What do you call a gay farmer? LBGTQEIEIO. Now, if you're under 30 and or living in your parents' basement, sit down. Now, if you're old enough to get that AARP postcard in the mail, and you're looking at it going, dang, that tote bag is looking pretty damn good. Sit down. All right. Now, if you're ugly, sit down. Hey, we got the last man standing. Audience husband, what's your name? Brad. Perfect. Thanks, Brad. You can go ahead and sit down. Thank you for participating. But hey, guys, this proves my point, okay? There's nothing left. There's like 1 or 2 people left in all of agriculture that are still single. I promise you, it is so hard to find. And I speak at these events all the time, and I never find tall, good-looking single farm boys. You know what I mean? And one time, though, I was at an Alltech convention, which is really funny because I see Alltech as one of the sponsors tonight. Okay, shout out to Alltech. One time, I was at the One conference, and I met Mike, okay? Mike is this 6'3", gorgeous, slick back hair, perfectly tailored suit, and he's a Texas cattleman and dairy farmer. And as I got to talking to Mike, I noticed he was not wearing a wedding ring. And I also learned that he's in the the semen collection business. Ladies, let me just tell you, we all want to collect Mike's semen, okay? But as I got to know him, I learned, whoops, the semen is just for the cows. And he has a fiance. So a little bit of a disappointment, but let me just tell you, okay, this fiance of his, this petite, beautiful little blonde thing, okay, she is a real prize heifer. She is like finer than the butter cow at the Iowa State Fair. You know what I mean? So, speaking of cows, I dated a cattle farmer for 7 calving seasons. And just before season 8, I left him because he never put a ring on it, okay? You can't let this milk spoil. So I decided to move on and try something different. But just imagine, here you are in a town of like 500 people. What do? How do you date? How do you meet people? So I decided to rise above. I thought, you know what? I'm the farm babe. I need to capitalize on this being single stuff. And so I contacted the founder and CEO of FarmersOnly.com. Yeah. So the founder and CEO of Farmers Only, his name is Jerry Miller. Now my name is Michelle Miller. So I go to call up, and they put me through right away. And he answers the phone and says, "Hi, honey." To which I say, "Oh, hi. My name's Michelle Miller, known as the Farm Babe on social media, and I thought, we could do some type of collaboration, right? Some type of partnership or something." So I pitch him this idea. What if we could do a dating series, kind of like The Bachelorette meets Hee Haw, where I date different guys in different parts of the country, and we follow the advocacy story of agriculture and the dates and all of these things, right? And he turned me down, of course. He said, "Oh gosh, we get pitched ideas like that all the time. But our research shows that members of FarmersOnly.com don't quite have enough bandwidth for shows. In fact, the only stream they do is when they're gone fishing." And the more I started talking to him and realizing people in agriculture and hearing their stories of the struggles of dating, the more I understand the expression, "Why buy the cow when the milk is free?" But wait, does that make me the cow? Oh no. This makes me the bougie, top dollar 4-H show heifer. I am the blue ribbon prize heifer. The best genetics, sought after, prime, and corn-fed. I see your roping hands are getting a little twitchy back there, Brad. Don't get too excited over there. But, it's interesting how for some reason people are absolutely fascinated with farmers and dating. And there are a lot of guys out there that if you were to parade me around the show ring, they couldn't afford to take me home. But they sure as hell could drive the price up. But the moral of the story is being the blue ribbon prize heifer and the wife material. And there's all these TV shows. People are so fascinated with dating and agriculture. We've got Farmer Wants a Wife, The Bachelor, Joe Millionaire, where apparently the farmer is the rich one. So the producers of the TV show Farmer Wants a Wife called me. And it was right before season 1. And they said, "We're casting for tall, good-looking single farm boys. Do you know of any?" To which I respond, "Yes, I know all 5 of them. 2 of them are my ex-boyfriends." Is it that bad? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, only in agriculture do we have to have a website devoted to dating each other in our community. We've got FarmersOnly.com. You don't see this with any other occupation. There's no DentistsOnly.com or CarSalesmanOnly.com. Hold up. AccountantsOnly.com. You don't have to be lonely at Farmers Only. You don't have to be boring at Accountants Only. So something tells me that my future career in reality television is probably not that promising. As you're doing Weight Watchers and you're trying to lose weight and you're thinking about, losing weight and exercising and dieting, there's different points systems, and you can dance and you can earn more points. How many points is a Bruno Mars song? Okay, so if reality television and meeting out and about, how else do you meet people? And the sad reality is that it usually boils down to these crazy dating apps. You may have heard of Tinder, Tinder is like the call pen of dating, okay? These are the ones you do not want to breed with. This is an EIEI no. And a lot of these guys, they're not taking good care of themselves, it's like the bearded fisherman's club, and hey, just holding up their fish. And like, just because you have a barbecue stain on your white t-shirt does not make you Tim McGraw. And then you have to come up with a tagline. And I never know what to put there. I'm cheaper than your combine and won't break down as often. You don't have to wait 2 weeks for the parts to come in. I'm not select or choice. I am prime. But then I start to think about it as I get older. What is my expiration date? And then I start to wonder, where is the expiration date? And where is that stamp, that says you're prime? Oh, the stamp. It's not a tramp stamp. I'm still trying to remember and look forward to that fateful day where the rancher busts out his trusty tool and brands me. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, where was I? Okay, dating apps. So dating apps, it is really difficult. How do they expect us in our small towns to even use dating apps? We barely have working internet, yet alone good working people. Right? Good internet, good people. Where do you find them? And so, it's kind of like the bars on your cell phone are very similar to the door close button on an elevator. They don't actually mean or do anything. Remember the old internet sounds of dial-up back in the day, the crash and burn sounds? It's like that now. It's rough out there. And guys on dating apps oftentimes are more wrong than the weatherman. Actually, the weatherman is a lot like a husband, always wrong. But being a woman nowadays is so competitive. My gosh, the next woman is just a swipe away, and all this beauty and filters, and oh my God, the filters and the enhancements, it's all filtered up. But you know what? You guys, you use filters too, like air filters, fuel filters. Wish you'd filter your mouths once in a while. That might be more useful. But when you're getting ready to go out on a date, you want to look nice, right? It's so competitive. I said, well, I'm going to book a spa day. So I was getting a facial, and as the woman was using a serum on my face, she started bragging to me about the product. This serum is made with real bull colostrum. Do you want to tell her or should I? Yeah, that's like, okay, we're going to go milk the bull now. Yeah, that's not how it works. I guess she was really trying to get me in the mood. So I take care of myself. I actually have a glam lord, okay? So she does everything. She does my hair, my makeup, my nails, waxing. She even does my fake eyelashes. Now, my fake eyelashes are the only thing about me that's fake. And I do love me some fake eyelashes. And it's kind of like when you think about your favorite cow. You know the one. She's got those beautiful, beautiful eyelashes, and she can do no wrong. She just parades past, and she just bats those pretty little eyelashes at you, and oh gosh, she's just your favorite, isn't she? Well, just remember, it's really fun to make your eyes pop out and look nice on a date, but ladies, you must remember something. If a man remembers the color of your eyes after a first date, chances are you have really small boobs. Fortunately, ladies, there's also a lot of enhancements we can do to our bodies, okay? Enhancements, beauty, filters. If you look at some of the most beautiful and wealthiest women in the world, okay, not Taylor Swift, look at somebody like a Beyonce or the Kardashians or the Real Housewives. They spend so much money just making themselves look so over-the-top gorgeous. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, their husbands still cheat on them. Like, it sucks, right? So I give up, y'all. Like, I'm just going to sit here and eat pizza, And pizza is a lot like sex, Even if it's bad, it's still good. Like, you can't have bad pizza, you know? And there's all different types of pizza. There's something for everybody. Maybe you're a hand-tossed kind of guy. You know? Maybe you like deep dish. Do we have any deep dish fans in the house? I need to know. No? Yeah, kind of figured. South Dakota, whatever. Deep dish pizza with pineapple, though. You meet somebody with pineapple in a deep dish, you know you got a freak. And then there's different types of pizza. You know, you get like the cold pizza that's left over the next morning and it's cut into squares. Like, it's good, you know. And it's cold, you're kind of hungover, it'll work. But then there's other types of pizza like stuffed crust or, maybe taco pizza. Now, taco pizza is one-night stand pizza. That's got a weak reheat game. You cannot have taco pizza the following morning. So my favorite type of pizza is just a standard thin crust cheese. And I wonder why I'm single. What does this translate to? But you know what? There is something to be said for a good old New York fashion slice at 2 a.m. that you just want to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. That is when you get your husband pizza, you know? What about you guys here? What's your favorite type of pizza? Pepperoni. Amateur. Is it your husband over here? Yeah? Yeah, all right. Miss Pepperoni over here. Yeah, all right. Hey, I was going to peg him for more of a Little Caesar myself. Hey, blink if you like pizza, you know? Like, do you think a body like this just falls from the gym? Exercise, I thought you said extra fries. And, what's the difference between a girlfriend and a wife? 50 pounds of pizza. But hey, pizza, man, gotta love it. And dairy farmers, where would we be without you? If it wasn't for dairy, we couldn't even have pizza. You guys are the pizza. And people have questions. You know, they want to learn more about where their food comes from, but do you ever stop and think about the farm-to-table movement? The farm-to-table movement, where do they think food comes from? Our chickens were raised on the mean streets of Philly. Streets to table. Our chickens went to Purdue, you know? And so people don't understand where their food comes from, and so they have questions. And the more questions they ask, the more their head kind of just cocks to the side with curiosity, you know? They say, so you're single? So you're not married? Have you ever been married? You've never been married? Do you have kids? You've never had kids? Who's gonna take over the next generation of the farm? Who's gonna do your chores? Did you vote for Joe Biden? Oh man, that hurt my back. See, that's the other thing that sucks about getting older, right? Getting older sucks, especially when you're dating. Dating in your 40s is like shopping. But the only thing you have access to is the clearance section, okay? Like the returns and the broken items and the damaged stuff, you know? There's nothing left. And so you're walking through Walmart and there it is, the $5 DVD bin. And you start digging in the DVD bin and you think you're gonna find something good. You're gonna find yourself a Superman or an Anchorman or a Wolf of Wall Street. And you're just gonna dig until you find something great. And as you keep going and digging, you realize that's all that's left is old Pauly Shore reruns. Son-in-Law, Encino Man. Man, dating in your 40s is really, really difficult. And then, the other thing you have to worry about is dating older or younger, you know? When you're in your 20s, you have a dating pool. When you're you're dating in your 40s, it's like a manure lagoon, you know? Like it is slurry. It's slurry out there, you guys. So the fun thing or unique thing about dating in your 40s, though, is that you can go younger and you can go older. So 30s, 50s, dating 30 could be fun, but there's really not a lot of benefits. But dating an older guy, like 55, free coffee at Arby's. Yeah. I actually went out with a guy recently who was 55, and it was great, y'all. Like, he knew where all the best pizza joints were. He could fix the air conditioner filter, and 10% off at the movies if he could stay awake that long. Looking back, when I was in high school, I went to a lot of college parties, you know? So it was great because by the time I actually made it to college, I was the cool kid on campus. I knew where all the best parties were, and I knew where all the best places were to hang out. And now that I'm older, I'm in my 40s now, living in Florida, surrounded by all of these great 55-plus communities, okay? Now, what's cool about this and dating older is that by the time I actually graduate into the 55-plus community, I'll already know where all the best bingo halls are. I will absolutely dominate at the pickleball court, know where the best golf courses are, and hello, did anybody say shuffleboard? So I actually was supposed to go out with this guy, and he couldn't make it to our date because he was getting a colonoscopy that day. And I thought, is this what I have to look forward to, a colonoscopy? What's next? Some guy's gonna say, I can't go out with you that day, I've gotta change the air filter on the Buick. Or they're getting fitted for orthopedic shoes or bifocals or, gosh, getting old. You know, I actually Googled Pat Sajak the other day. Is he hot? No, he's not. There is an age cutoff, and to be clear, Pat Sajak is at the age cutoff. But it's kind of like when you're shopping in the produce aisle and you pick up that piece of fruit that's leaking and it's super wrinkly. Yeah, there's definitely a cutoff. But that's the other thing about getting older is your body starts to change. So here I am in my 40s and I'm starting to think, my God, am I going through menopause? Is my body changing? And I decided to look it up for myself. Now check this out, okay? This is a real product. There is an at-home menopause test that you can take. This is a real product, and it works like a pregnancy test, where you pee on this stick, and it tells you if you test positive for menopause and which phase of menopause you are in. So I did it. I bought the product, I got it home, tried it out. Turns out I am not going through menopause. No. Turns out I'm just a bitch. I think my mom went through menopause from like 1984 to 2013. Okay, don't tell her I said that. You laugh, but women, man, you get it. We get it. But men, yeah, men, you guys are uncomfortable right now. You hate it when we talk about our periods and menopause, and yeah, you look pretty uncomfortable. Scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable are you right now, sir? 15, yeah, yep. Well, buckle up, because now I'm going to talk about childbirth. I'm just kidding. I actually don't have any kids. I am allergic to kids. My maternal instinct is non-existent. In other words, I'd make a great Holstein. But I was at the doctor the other day, and he said, what are you using for birth control? I said, my personality? And as I was filling out the intake form at the doctor's office, it asks for your marital status, SMDWP. So I thought, okay, single, married, divorced, widowed, P. What's the P stand for? Oh, promiscuous. Check. I'm just kidding. I think that it actually stands for partner, I'm going to assume. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I've never been pregnant. I don't have kids, you know, knock on wood, all that good stuff. But I do know that there are certain things that you should not say to a woman. Okay, guys, if your wife is breastfeeding, do not go up to her and make milking parlor noises, okay? Your wife just brings up the baby and just... That's not nice. Don't do that. There are actually a ton of things that you shouldn't say or do to a female unless you're on a farm. Only on a farm is it okay to be acceptable to say things like, she's got nice teats. She's in her breeding prime. I lost a nipple. That's a great group of wieners. I found some semen online. Boy, she throws a good calf. These things are okay to say on a farm, but never say them in public. Speaking of being in public, gosh, can we talk about toddlers for a minute? Okay, toddlers are just tiny, drunken adults. They stumble around and speak gibberish, and you can't understand what they're saying, and they shit their pants, and you have to say, don't put that in your mouth. And they stumble around, and then they tell you, yeah, I'll pay the tab. And they don't pay the tab, and then they leave, and then they tell you that they're gonna drive you home, and instead you gotta take an Uber. Is it Uber or Uber? Uber. You guys know what this is, right? A Uber. Now, my old boyfriend used to haul sheep, and he would haul sheep around, and he'd call himself a Uber, because he would haul sheep all day. He said, well, you know, they didn't even tip. I said, well, next time, haul cows. I hear they tip better. Get it? The cows. So good. You know, I always love how goats are called kids. My gosh, goats, little baby goats, aren't they so cute? So much better than human kids, right? God, I give you parents a lot of credit, okay? How many of you have little kids? How many of you have little kids? Yeah? How old are your kids? 3 and 1 on the way. That's such a fun age. No, it's not. Did you ever notice how everybody says that about every age? Yeah, I've got a 13-year-old. That's such a fun age. No, it's not. You know what's a fun age? 30. 30's a fun age. Because then you can drink with them, and they hopefully don't need your money anymore, and hopefully they're finally out of your parents' basement, you know, kind of getting out of the house finally. But you just never know when they're finally going to get out of the house. Having a kid is like having a boat. The 2 best days are the day you get it and the day you get rid of it. We got kids and we got grandkids, you know. How many of you have kids? How many of you have kids in general? I'm expecting pretty much every damn one of your hands to go up, okay? How about grandkids? We got grandkids? We got like teenage grandkids? Yeah? Teenage grandkids? You got like teenage like grandsons? Yeah? How old's your grandson? Okay. Oh, like a college age? I mean, like, you have an 18-year-old. 18? Is he hot? Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm not a cougar. But I do have a great cougar story. Buckle up. So I used to bartend back in the day, and this kid comes up to my bar one night, and he was from Jersey. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Jersey, like the cow? No, New Jersey, like the country. So this kid sits down at my bar, and I asked to see his ID. This isn't you. Yeah, it is. It's my shitty boot camp picture. Yeah, I'm going to need to see a second form. So he gives me a second and a third. Okay, fine. What can I get you? I serve him a drink. And he goes, where the cougars at? I'm sorry, excuse me? Yeah, I heard this was the place to pick up the older ladies. You know, I like the older ladies. Yeah, there's some truth to that. Yeah, I like older ladies like 30s, 40s, 50s. 50s? That's old enough to be your mother. I know, but it's sexy. And then I got to thinking about it. My God, 30s is old? 30s is a cougar? That's like saying the first Tesla is an antique. Or Nickelback is classic rock. I mean, some of you guys probably been married longer than that, you know? Who here's been married longer than 30 years? 30 years of marriage. We got 40 years? 40, yeah? All right. Hey, what's the secret to a long marriage, a long, happy, successful marriage? What's the secret? I think their hearing aid's not working. What? Yes, dear. Okay. See? Great answer. And it's so fun to ask people. If you just ask people, what's the secret to a long, happy marriage, you get so many funny answers, from yes, dear, to answers like involve Jesus, to marry your best friend. But the best answer I ever got was from Wayne. Wayne and his wife have been married for over 40 years, and his response was, oh, Michelle, once you find one woman, you realize you don't want any more. I gotta say, all you married people can live vicariously through me. And I know it's about 98% of the audience, right? But stay with your spouse. You know, the pastures are not greener on the other side of the fence. Enjoy what you have and appreciate the beauty and family values instilled within our agriculture community. So in conclusion, you guys, you know, I've never been married, but I really hope to find that someday and really admire those of you who have that in your life. I've never been married, but I've been pretty close, you know. Picture this. I was a farmer in Iowa, and it was a beautiful, beautiful spring morning. You know, the dewdrops and the beautiful sunrise and the farm equipment, and everything was just perfect. When my Farmer Doug, got down on one knee, and he said, do you think these soybeans have sufficient nitrogen? I'm Michelle Miller, the Farm Babe. Good night, everybody. Close the gate when you leave.